Hey YouTube, this is Scarecrow Kaiser. I'm going to do a deck profile here on one of my favorite decks there is. Although it's very different from a lot of the other decks that I like. It's always been one of my favorites ever since like it came out in set 2. It's Spike Brothers, so this is going to be my Breakride Emperor build, so I'm going to get into it. Starting Vanguard, Mecha Trainer. He's the exact same thing as Conroe. Really freaking good. Counterblast 1, go get any grade 1. Very, very good card. Yeah, like there's Spike Brothers have a lot of other like pretty decent starting Vanguards, but Mecha Trainer is just so good that like even though the other ones are good, like I don't see why you would ever not play Mecha Trainer anyway, though. Triggers: 4 heal, 4 draw, and 8 crit. There are a lot of options when it comes to triggers in Spike Brothers. There aren't that many triggers. So, onto the grade 1s. We have our 4 Perfect Guards. Sugar Maryland. We have 4 Reckless Express. He's your Juggernaut Maximum clone, grade 1, 7k booster. He himself, when he does his Soul Blast, can attack for 12, so pretty solid card. It can be an attacker or it can be a booster. Then we have our 4 Wonder Boy, or 8k booster, generic, teamed up with Deadly Emperor, hits 21, which is a good number in this type of format. And then we have 1 Medical Manager. He's a solid 7k boost and can get you that extra card in soul. So there are some games where you're gonna want to do an extra push off a Soul Blast, so we'll give you that extra soul. And there are times where if you're counting your triggers, you know when it's a high probability the top card of your deck is not a trigger, so you can call him and still charge just because you don't think that top card is a trigger, and be 1 card closer to hitting a trigger. And then our last grade 1 is 1 Gary. I typically search him off of my Mecha Trainer, just like how in Cargo you typically search Airmo off of Conroe. So he helps make the deck more consistent, and very fond of this card. I really like running just the one of in the deck. The grade 2s. We have our 4 Deadly Mason. This card is really good. This card's really good. On hit, counterblast 1, put a card from hand in the soul and call any unit from deck. This card is really good. It's a great turn 2 Vanguard ride, and it just applies pressure like at any point in the game. It's a great card. Then we have our 4 high-speed Bracky, always a staple in Spike Brothers. Soul Blast 1, get +4, so he can attack for 14. When you're doing the limit break and you have him teamed with a 7k and you do a Soul Blast, that column's hitting 31, which is a great number. And then our last grade 2, we have 3 Treasured Black Panther, our 10k beat stick. He's not overly fantastic, but he's just your solid beating 10k, so he works well. Yeah, I've tried lots of other things, and I basically have decided just the solidness of him is what makes him worth playing. Then for our grade 3s, we have our 4 Baden Draggers, or Breakride, and our 4 Deadly Emperors. I prefer this build off of like others because just Emperor being so consistent. He doesn't need the Persona Blast. He's just he's a 13k attacker. He may not be an 11 defender, but he's a 13k attacker, and team with an 8k like Wonder Boy, he hits 21. So, and you can do him more than once in the same game. Like, you can, if you don't kill him one turn, you can do another rush next turn and probably kill them. It's really hard for someone to survive 2 rushes. So yeah, that pretty much covers it. It's a really strong deck if you're playing it right. Like, this deck, if once it limit breaks with Deadly Emperor, even if your opponent's at 3 damage, it's very reasonable that you can actually kill them when they're at 3. Although I highly suggest you don't try to kill them at 3. Usually you want to have them at least 4. If they're at 4, it's hard for them to survive. If they're at 5, they almost never survive the Breakride combo. So yeah, it's a very solid deck, very strong. One of my favorite decks. So yeah, thank you for watching.